Hello everyone, welcome to another travel vlog, and today we're going to share the experience of traveling to Bhutan. Whatever the country you're traveling from, there is only one airline which can take you to Bhutan, and that is Druk Air. And the only airport is the Paro International Airport. So first talk about Paro, because this is the city which you will land in first when you land in Bhutan. So Paro is a valley town somewhere 50 kilometers away from the capital city, Thimphu. And from the airport, the town center is about 10 to 15 minutes by car and may cost 600 to 800 rupees for a taxi. And you can get decent hotel rooms in 2,500 or 3,000 Indian rupees in peak season and maybe in 2,000 or 2,500 rupees in the off-peak season. And it's better to stay a night in Paro and visit nearby temples and monasteries in a day trip. In your day trip, you can also go to a point from where you can view the airplanes landing or taking off from the Paro International Airport. All the road trips in Bhutan is also amazing because the road infrastructure is really good, roads are smooth, and of course the hillsides and greeneries will always attract the eyes of the travelers. So in the first night we stayed in Paro and had a day trip to various monasteries nearby, and then we went to Thimphu. And on the way to Thimphu you can see a lot of monasteries on the way, whichever you like. To cover your day trip or to travel to Thimphu from Paro, you can hire a small car for at least for 3 or 4 people, which can be hired at 3,000 Indian Rupee or Ngultrum for the day trip. It's worth remembering that the Bhutanese Ngultrum is equivalent to and mutually replaceable with the Indian Rupee. The dzong is one of the largest monasteries of the country, and it lies beside the country's parliament building and the king's palace in Thimphu. The dzong only opens after 4 p.m. and remains open until 5 or 5:30 p.m. So there's a small window which you can utilize and visit the dzong, and which is the most recommended infrastructure you can visit in Thimphu. And this dzong houses a number of beautiful temples for the country's head monks and nuns. So in the third day, we started from Thimphu to travel to Punakha, and on the way we will visit the Chelela Pass. And the road trip here too was always amazing. So on the way to Punakha we had Chelela Pass, which itself is a beautiful point to spend some time looking at the Himalayas. And as we visited Chelela Pass during the winter time, there were ice in the nearby hills, and the structures were worth taking photos, and the landscape was totally picturesque. In Punakha, the suspension bridge lies on top of the river Pho, which also connects with Mocho rivers where the Punakha dzong lies in. After visiting the suspension bridge, we came to the Punakha dzong, and according to our tour guide, the Punakha is one of the most warm places in Bhutan, even during the winter. And the tour guide in Thimphu Dzong also said that 2/3 of the monks of the Thimphu Dzong travel to Punakha and stay in Punakha Dzong during the winter due to this warm weather. And even during our stay, while the daytime temperature was about 6 degrees Celsius in Thimphu, it was as warm as 13 degrees Celsius in Punakha in a sunny day, which was in the first week of January. Besides the Dzong and the weather, you can also enjoy the view of the rivers, the valley, and the small town of Punakha itself. So on the third day, we finished our day trip and came back to Thimphu again. And in the fourth day, we started to travel around Thimphu and started with the Buddha Point. Buddha Point here is another attractive site at the top of a hill where resides the gigantic golden statue of Buddha. And the whole place is adorned with a lot of statues which are gold plated, and the Buddha temple itself is a place worth visiting. After visiting Buddha Point, we also visited the Changang Khalakang, which is a local temple, and it's very beautiful, where you have multiple small temples and you can see Buddha people performing their prayers at the temples. Besides these local temples, you can also visit the National Library of Bhutan. There are some other attractions like museums and parks, which you can also cover in a day trip. And finally, on our fifth day, we came back to Paro from Thimphu and we crossed the Chelela Pass on the way. People who are interested in hiking can go to Tiger's Nest in a day trip from both Paro or Thimphu. By the way, I missed it for unavoidable circumstances though, and because it was a bitter winter with snowfalls. I must say that the drive to the top of Chelela on the icy road in this winter was a memorable journey altogether. And when you reach on the top of the Chelela Pass, you'll just see an amazing view of the Haa Valley. But in the winter time, the Haa Valley is not as green as it is in the summertime. The view and the feel on top of the Chelela Pass is really worth remembering. Thanks for watching the video. If you have liked it, please subscribe to the channel and stay tuned.